This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Green Bay Packers. With that, let's get up to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Standing by for the call from venerable Lambeau Field, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay. And this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by a man who's becoming an elder statesman among quarterbacks in the league, drafted back in 2004. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
We talk so often about his physical attributes, of course, the Big Ben nickname, his ability to take hits in the pocket, his ability to extend plays and get outside of the pocket. But how about this for efficiency? Top 10 in career NFL passer rating. And he's one of the top 5 winningest quarterbacks in NFL history. That's pretty darn good.
All right, here we go.
They go play action here on first down. And no, incomplete. Boy, they took a shot there on the first play, trying to start it out with a bang. But it's second down. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
Out wide was the youngest player in the NFL in 2017, Juju Smith-Schuster. And he also had the longest reception in the league last season at 97 yards. Actually well-schooled in route running and able to run from both outside and moving inside to the slot position in order to make big plays.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Here we go.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Bell. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. On second down, it's Bell. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of one, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Muhammad Wilkerson elevated a Temple program that was looking for players like him, and he's carried that on into the NFL. What a terrific play there.
And a nice tackle for loss for the former Temple Owl, as you said, and the 30th pick in the 2011 draft. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Clay Matthews in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Back deep is Trevor Davis. Pulled in at the 24. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
I think Aaron Rodgers is one of the poster boys for persistence and belief in self. Because coming out of high school, he had 0 scholarship offers in the D1 level. Went to a junior college. Went to Cal and just blew up there. And then, of course, as a 1st-round draft pick, but a lot lower than what he expected in the 1st round, and then had to sit behind Brett Favre for a few years in Green Bay before getting his shot. Now he's probably one of the better quarterbacks that we've seen come down the pipe.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Randall Cobb, 63 yards. And the Packers have taken the early lead. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And it's now a 7-0 game. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Crosby on now to kick it away. On the return, Fitzgerald to Son. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackle there by Clay Matthews. And let's get a look at the Green Bay defense.
I saw Jake Ryan at a postseason All-Star game after a great career at the University of Michigan. I actually asked a couple of scouts what they thought, and they thought he'd be a marginal prospect in the NFL. Well, he's one of the most improved players in the league. A starter at linebacker for Green Bay, seems to make just about every tackle in the running game.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down. Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. On the counter, here's Bell. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. One quarter down. 7-0 is our score. We're back to Lambeau in just a moment. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Washington. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Kenny Clark with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now Roethlisberger to throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And Boswell's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it. Those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. Trevor Davis now to return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. It's Big Vince Williams who made the tackle.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words.
You just watch 88 over there. Just watch 88.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. That's complete to Cobb. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
The Steelers insert their nickel defense on 3rd down.
Yeah, they add a DB. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Open man is Allison, complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Rodgers to throw again. The left side throw complete to Adams. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Rodgers again now. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaunt alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout, and now we're set to get going. Rodgers now on first down. And Graham's got it over the middle. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Roethlisberger. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Now Roethlisberger. Over the middle, complete. That's Brown. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports halftime report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. Returnable here for Davis. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at the 34. Now Rodgers. Got a man, that's Allison. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On first down, Rodgers. Wide open receiver complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Rodgers gonna throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. That opening drive rhythm continues right into play number 3.
Whatever they decided that they wanted to run before the game, it's working pretty well for them right now. Moving the ball downfield at a nice rate. And guess what? I think the chain crew might have to get a little oxygen over there. They have to keep moving downfield with first downs on each play.
Let's go. Come on.
Rodgers now on first down. Letting one go deep for the end. That is caught by Cobb. And it's a Packer touchdown. Randall Cobb, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point try now for Crosby. Crosby connects on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So that drive, 4 plays, and the result, a Green Bay score. Crosby on now to kick it away. Toussaint now to return. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. We focus our attention now on the quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
There's a man they call AB, always a volume receiver. He gobbles up catches, holds a number 2 and number 4 spots for most receptions in a season in NFL history. And in 2015, just 7 catches shy of setting the single-season mark for most receptions, currently held by Marvin Harrison, a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he had 136 catches that year on the heels of 129 the season before. A give to Bell. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. The Pro Bowler, Muhammad Wilkerson, brings him down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And the Steelers on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. But it's brought in by Washington. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Here's Roethlisberger. And it's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, it's Roethlisberger. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Tremont Williams there to break that one up.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
Yes, you're right, they have had no room to breathe. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 10. Ben to throw again. And he finds McDonald. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Roethlisberger now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. The give is to Bell. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Bell. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They've got to get the ball in his hands somehow and create some space because they're losing this game.
Well, defensively, you got to key in on Bell, make him the focal point to stop, and they've been able to do that.
And he has gotten better every year he's been in the league, always adding something to his game. One of the premier runners in the NFL.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it third and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's third and goal. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's third and goal. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. And Boswell's kick is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive. 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
And he's got room. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there on that play. I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
1st down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And some room to work. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards.
You know what's really hard for a big-time running back? Is patience. Being able to hang in there when the runs aren't there, when you're taking some hits early in the game. But this drive, oh, he's come alive and in a big way. Now he's starting to gallop.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And left side here, it's Graham. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
319's an honor.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Open here is Allison, that's complete. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game, but they were in what was really called 4-minute offense, and that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it, a costly turnover. And now out come the Steelers. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, getting it across the 25. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down. First play of the drive in their hip pocket. Of course, the focus here has to be the touchdown of the 2-point conversion. Field goals aren't going to help you.
Yeah, but how about that first play of the drive? Just to get them started, nice gain, got some positive momentum going. They're on their way, and they don't have to rush.
Roethlisberger now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made there by Nick Perry. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On third down, Roethlisberger. This one complete, right side to McDonald. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. James has got it. Complete. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Rodgers now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Rodgers handing to Montgomery. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31 as the defense rallies quickly after the nice move. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. And the Steelers signal for another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. On third down, they go Montgomery. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a two-score game. And Crosby puts it through, and that will extend their lead here to 17-6. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a two-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And his throw here's incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there, 26 yards. On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. They'll fight a man over the middle. It's Washington. And the ball is knocked out. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
Counting down to 30 seconds remaining. And he clocks it with just over 30 seconds left. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. To throw again is Roethlisberger. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Clay Matthews in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. On 3rd and goal, Roethlisberger. And this is clock, so it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however. Coming from where they were, they knew this was going to be tough, but they got the touchdown. Now they need the miracle, the onside kick and a little extra.
Yeah, and you have to get the onside kick and not have the ball bounce around a lot and eat up time. You want to be able to grab it, possess it, and get your offense out there for what you just termed a miracle last chance.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. He's back to throw, and he's got it. So the try for 2 successful, and with it, they're back within a field goal. So a crucial 2-point conversion there, but that's just part 1 of this 2-part story that they need to happen here.
Yeah, they do need to do a few other things, don't they? They got the 2, as you noted. Now they've got to make sure they get the onside kick and hope to get into field goal range and maybe have one last miracle left.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's more than a 2-part story. It's a 3- or 4-part story. So with 14 seconds on the clock, they've got to go with the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, for a second there, I had flashbacks to a few years ago, the NFC Championship game for the Packers, but here they're able to hold on.
And many things changed in Green Bay after that game. Personnel, people coaching, the whole deal. And in this case, they get it done. No fail like they had in Seattle.
Rodgers will take a knee here, and that should be all she wrote. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Packers are winners here as we say so long from Lambeau.